Hello, Cancerian community. Soul Tigress here with the story for this dreamer of a community. Now, totally not sure what's going to come out. Definitely, before I came into this reading, it was consume some water. Consume some water. So this may be a message for some Cancerians out there in this story that get some water in. Hydration is a wonderful thing to have. A wonderful thing to be is hydrated. Things run a little bit better when you're hydrated. All right, enough about that. Let's get back to what we have going on for today. So not sure what's going to happen, but I'm definitely intrigued. It's like a moment of silence kind of energy that's happening. Everything's just kind of still. So I do have two sets of oracle cards, but they're different than the Moonology, and they're different than the unicorn oracles that I use. So I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate them in, but let's find out together what's going to unfold today with all of the decks, not just the oracle. So I've already called in Cancerians, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, as well as universal and divine energies for this kind-hearted community. I want these energies to come into the stories as guides and protectors for the positive messages that are meant to come out. All right, Cancerians, let's get started. So, do I go tarot? Do I go oracle? Which way do we go? Let's go oracle. Usually, I like to do the shamanic healing oracle at the very end. I love to do them with the block. But let's see what's gonna come out. I'm feeling like 3 cards. 3 cards. Let's see. All right, what wants to come out for the Cancerian community? Is this why I'm feeling some stillness? Are you on an inner journey? This Cancerian here. And that is the number 35. 35. Can I get 2 more cards? And would you know? 2 more cards. Thank you. Changes. 29. Growth. 38. It sounds like there's a Cancerian in this story who's going within and is changing some stuff up to get to that growth. Maybe they're tired of the way the same old has been building up over the years. Maybe 2024 is the year a Cancerian says, enough is enough. I'm done doing it this way. I want to do it a different way. I deserve that. Ooh, it's already starting out really interesting. Let's see. All right, we got some tarot cards. Let's get going. All right, ancestors, spirit guides. What wants to come out for the Cancerian community? The kind-hearted Cancerian community. The homebody Cancerian. The builder Cancerian. What is coming out for the present moment? Well, it came out, then it flipped to where we can't see it. Something we're not wanting to deal with? Something this Cancerian's not wanting to see? Does it have to do with rash behavior? acting out in a fiery way, but it could have been passion driven, almost in an immature, passionate way. Or is there an energy that is like that around you? What else wants to come out? Okay. All right, there we go. What else would like to come out? Eight of Swords. Now somebody's tired of being stuck by some other energy, and it could be this rash, immature energy. There we are. Let's see what we got going. And man, these cards fell right towards the camera, so it's like in your face kind of stuff. This Cancerian so far is tired of getting stuck. That's what I'm getting. You got two cards here. Two cards here. Someone throwing some stuff at them. This one, if you look at it, it's almost like, you know, I'm going to help you. I'm here to help, but you try and reach out. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to look like friend, but I'm really foe. I'm really foe. And these are all in reverse. Okay, so this is all what this energy has been dealing with. Now, maybe the inner journey, the change and the growth is wanting to get out of this kind of stuff, getting away from that kind of energy. And what also fell towards the camera was the World, and it was a little turn. So somebody wants their world to be a little bit more united when it comes to within or with a situation. I want to be able to dance in sync with my world. That's the vibe I'm picking up from that. I'm feeling like if this is the Cancerian that is reflecting on this as this energy, they were tired. They're tired of coming in rash. It's almost like I'm tired of reacting to all these stakes, all these swords, all these arrows, you know, being thrown at me. I have a dream that I'm dreaming about. I feel like I want to have more. I want to have more. A new stabilization. And that fell out onto the Knight of Wands, like right in the corner of it, and a little bit towards that Ten of Swords in reverse. Somebody wants to get untied with this Ace of Swords. Untied to the old. But how do they do it? Because this fell out kind of by itself. How do they do it? I think that's the main question. I think that's going to be a part of the block. How do they do it? All right, I'm feeling a few more cards for the present want to come out. A few more cards. What else wants to come out for the Cancerian community? There it is. It's been like this for years. It's been like this for years. Can I get a clarification card for that Seven of Cups? It's the Magician, but the Magician is starting to go in a side position. It's been like that for years, and I never get to be my full magician. I feel like this person has the supplies to be a magician, but they can never fully express their true magician, their true being sufficient in everything they have. And it would almost be like being showing up and having it all. So a good enough feeling. That's what I'm getting from that. So maybe this Cancerian is dealing with that feeling with this person, place, or thing. And then I have the Devil fall out onto the side, right on the Magician. And under the Devil is a 6 of Coins, almost, where was it? Let's see. Okay. It was almost to that full reverse position. I'm hearing self-sabotage. Because you do have all the supplies to be a magician, but you got all these sharp things flying at you, whether it's sharp words, sharp thoughts, could be even a cruelty. That's what I'm getting, because how sad this would be to be in this 10 of Swords and in this 8 of Swords right here. That's a lot coming at you. A lot coming at this Cancerian. But I'm hearing self-sabotage with the Devil, because the Devil can also represent almost like a rebirth too, just depending on how it's turned. And it can never get to that rebirth stage. And I feel like it's because this Cancerian is absorbed in this community that isn't the greatest. You would almost call it a toxic environment. You could call it a toxic environment. Again, this is just my opinion in this story. But it takes two to tango. I always say that, Cancerian, because you keep coming back or you keep dealing with it. The whole thing is, why can't this Cancerian untie? Cut those strings. Cut those ropes. What is it? I think that's a question for the block. I think that is. All right. All right, so in honor of Year of the Dragon, it's a wood dragon too for the Chinese New Year. I did get a dragon deck. Woo-hoo! And it always feels so special to work with this deck. In any of the readings, and Cancerians, you guys are getting this special deck. All right, so back to the story here. Back to the story. What wants to come out for the block for this particular Cancerian? What wants to come out for the block? Y'all put it in that shell. I hear you don't want to talk about it. I'm getting a very stubborn feeling over this. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So I have the Magician again. And this Magician's going into the full reverse position. I'm hearing, but they make me feel important, or I feel important because they need me type of energy. They need me. If I didn't show up in their frequency with them, who's going to feed them? Who's going to take care of them? Like I said, it takes two to tango. It really does. What else wants to come out for the block? Oh, man. Where to start with this? All right. So we have a lot here. We have a 5 of Cups in reverse, falls out into the 10 of Swords, and onto the Ace of Swords, both of those cards in reverse. Then I have the 10 of Cups that fell out into reverse. And that fell onto the Ace of Coins, the 10 of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Swords in reverse. All right. So we'll start off with the first step of the interpretation. I feel like there's a lot of emotional damage going on for this Cancerian. And it's not just, I don't feel like it's a buildup of just what has happened. I feel like we have right there in the first part of this, 15 cups out. 15 cups out to match up to that 10 of Swords. All right, so these are high numbers. This is time. It could have been time that this has been the way it's been. You've always been around this sharp kind of energy. This Cancerian has been around this sharp kind of energy ever since they were young, because this is a young person here. That's a young person. This one and this one. Come on, pick it up. This one and this one is also a young person, a younger person. At least than myself. But that's what I'm getting at. Now what fell out onto those cups in side position, I have Strength and Tower. This is something that's always pulled at your strength. There have been these Tower moments, these explosive moments. I feel like with this type of energy, again, not just now, but even since this Cancerian was young. But this strength is different than a lot of strengths. This strength is one where you have two who are side by side. You have the snakes wrapped around a wand or a stake, which could represent medicine. We also have the sun. And it's not an upright, though. It wants to get into the upright position. The Tower wants to get into the upright position. Again, there's a change, an inner journey, a growth that wants to happen. And this Cancerian feels it within their shell. They feel the way that they want to have strength with somebody who stands beside them, not over them. And then what fell out towards the camera here was the Two of Wands. It has to do with what's around this Cancerian, but also I feel like what choice can they bring into this? How do I go? I want to take, because if you look, there's also two little dragons. I want to take the ones I love with me, though. This Cancerian cares about their community very much so. Cancerians are very invested in their home, whether the home is at home or at work or wherever they're dedicating their time. They don't want to let this community go, this situation go. There's that right there. It's almost like it's been a long haul in this journey. A long haul. All right. I feel like a few more cards can come out for the block. A few more cards. There it is. I have the 9 of coins. And upright. It's something that's been built. There's been time that's been dedicated to it. Can I get one more card? One more card for clarification for the 9 of coins. One more card. There it is. 9 of cups. And that falls out onto the magician. And upright. There is a sense with this 9 of coins that to be prudent, I would say, or to, how do I put it? I'm not a gardener. I'm not a farmer. But what I notice is how one tree is lighter and one tree is darker. Now, in this sense of what I'm interpreting with this particular 9 of coins is the growth. And there's going to be different growths between these two different trees. Now, if you have a tree that's actually harvesting good, sweet crops that you can use, opposed to a tree this season that is producing bitter, tardy stuff that can't be traded or sold for currency, then the farmer, the grower, would have to pick which one to put the more energy to get to the goal that they need to by the end of the season. And this particular dragon is looking at the 9 of cups. So with that being said, this Cancerian in the block needs to, or the block is, this Cancerian could be concentrating again on the wrong growth. They're concentrating on a growth that isn't going to produce the harvest that they're really wanting. The harvest that they're really wanting, and it's a utopia. You see that? Waterfalls, the whale. And if you look at it, that's a seahorse. That is a seahorse. And if you think about seahorses, the male seahorse is the one who gives birth to the babies. He's really into it. And it could be a goal of a particular kind of nurturing energy within the home. Maybe a positive masculine energy within the home. And you don't have to be per se a man to express that or a woman to express that. It's expressing the positive traits behind those energies. Masculine energy is one of development, progress, whereas a positive feminine energy is one of nurturing and compassion. But I'm feeling a positive masculine energy traits kind of want to be brought into the emotions. But again, the block is there's too much focus in a toxic environment. There's too much focus into this crop that is producing nothing but bitterness. But I'm hearing, but I love them. I care about them. That is a hard one. That is a hard one. Cancerian in this story, I would say, I would honestly ask, where is your heart? Where is your soul, though? Where is it that you want to be? If you are satisfied with the day in and day out experiences in this toxic environment, then it's just a change up in perspective. It could be a change up in how you do things. You can still cut these cords and get to that outcome. You can still get to that outcome, but it's a different investment in a different crop, a different growth and stability. And it has to be done within self. And environment can influence. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, what wants to come out? What does the Cancerian community need to help with the block? What is it that this wonderful self-sacrificing community needs to hear for the block? Learn the truth. Learn the truth about this. I'm hearing see it for what it is. See it for what it is. Great thing about an owl is the owl can spin its head all the way around. But not just that, the owl can sit on a tree branch a little bit lower, or it can go into a tree branch that's really high up. What I'm getting at is maybe the truth is, again, shifting that perspective around. Not for them, for you. Creativity. Again, when it comes to spiders usually could represent feminine energy. One of, in particular, mother energy. But it's also about how you're weaving your web of life. Every strand in the web represents a strand of your life, whether it's a direction, an outcome, maybe a way that you want to go. But each strand is important. How do you want to weave this web in 2024? One more. I'm hearing one more. All right. There it is. Here it is again. Again. Look at that. Change. Change is on the horizon for you. Change. And if you think about a chameleon as well, a chameleon is able to look in two different directions at once. Maybe it's looking at from one side what it is that keeps you driven to this situation, even though it could be toxic. All right, what it is that keeps you driven, but on the other side, looking at what you need. Because if we're surrounding ourselves with toxic situations because we feel like they need us, then there's a void we're trying to fulfill within self. A lot of times when people have a void to fulfill, such as one, of being needed, it could translate into maybe I deal with this because these are the people I think will be the only ones to care about me. It's hard to step out of our community and see us meeting different people. That is one thing that can be hard. To look at and to say, if I let this situation go, because if it's in a family dynamic, that's really scary to be out on your own. I mean, there's probably some of us who know the black sheep of the family, but this is a lot of reason why the black sheep is the black sheep. It goes in this story. A black sheep will realize what is happening and they'll bring in that change. They'll bring in the change and they will want to weave their web of life different. Again, it's setting a different example for, say, their children and their children's children, wanting to vibrate the generations differently that come after them. Not adding more members to a toxic situation. So again, stepping outside of a community, even a work situation that you've been at for 5+ years and you're comfortable there, and to think about starting over somewhere else at the bottom can be very intimidating. It can be very intimidating. But look at this. I would say this Cancerian, look at this. In this story, look at the different perspectives. Look at what it is that keeps you there, the nitty gritty. Look past all the people and what you feel like keeps yourself there. And then look at the other note of it, the other side. What it is that you need. What it is that you need that will get you to that harmony with whatever you're wanting to do, whether it's within work, home, it's in your community. All right, Cancerians. Woo! This ended on a serious note. Did you feel that? Even like the quietness around it. It's a lot that you're going through. A lot. Just know how amazing you are, how tough you are, and you can do it. You can sort this out. And new beginnings, whether it's just a shift in perspective around this environment, say you want to stay in it. A new beginning could be a shift in perspective, even a different way of going. Say setting a little bit of boundaries for yourself so you can have leisure time, so you can even have energy, say after you get off of work, to do things you want to do instead of getting off of work and being too run down to do anything. Again, this is all just my opinion for this Cancerian in this story here. My job is not to govern anybody's free will. It's not here to influence any free will either. What it is, I just want to give some positive messages and just let this Cancerian know that they are the most important thing. They are. Because they're the only ones who can have their back fully 100%. And when you start to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, you're going to get a different type of energy in your community. All right, that was the last note. That was from ancestors. Thank you, Cancerians.